So this year was the first year that we managed to do a full park census in all 4 parks in southern Mozambique, which is a fantastic achievement and real good progress. Now the census across the 4 parks are done by helicopter and aeroplane. We've got a Cessna 206 that we've used for our fixed wing survey, and we chartered in helicopters. Although with the procurement of helicopters, we'll look at using our helicopters for the future censuses. The censuses are done by our teams in the park and supported by experts that will do the data capture and analysis and reporting.
As part of the Limpopo Transfrontier Park, we are one of the core conservation areas along with MaputoNationalPark, and part of the collaboration between South Africa and Mozambique, but specifically with Izimvelo and Anak, we assist with the aerial census. We tend to do it every 2nd year. So when we undertake an aerial census, we're fortunate enough to have a big helicopter that we're going to be flying with. It is a Long Ranger. We try and use an aircraft like a Long Ranger so that we can also go through the process of training up other people and specifically transfer skills within the transfrontier space.
So the observer is busy looking at the furthest point on the tape, and where his eyes are looking at the point of where the tape is, I've got to put tape to just be level with his eyes. So he will look at everything below that, will include into the count. Nothing above it is supposed to be included into the count.
The count will be conducted with 2 aerial vehicles. The plane will be used largely across the landscape. By flying an exact transect, a transect is a straight line that we fly on a predetermined GPS path, and that's followed by the pilot. And on each side of the plane you've got counters.
And we're counting everything 400 meters to the right and 400 meters to the left of the aeroplane. It's just, there's various ways of doing it, but that is going to be the most economical way of doing this thing, which is a very big park, as you know.
The results so far are incredibly encouraging. In Maputo National Park, we've seen a far wider distribution of wildlife, as wildlife now has populated all corners of Maputo National Park, and large increase of wildlife numbers that we can now looking at potentially relocating those numbers of plains game to rewild Banhine National Park. In Banhine itself, it's the first full park census that has ever been done, especially since the restructuring or realignment of the park boundaries. And those census results will give us a strong indication of where to focus our anti-poaching efforts, but also indicate for us how to structure our rewilding, where we should focus our core sanctuary area, where we should focus our water, and where we should be dropping off wildlife when we do start relocating next year. In Zinave, we've done a massive rewilding program there. You've got the big 5 there now, and the wildlife numbers have shown really 20% growth in most of your common species, which is exactly what we want to achieve. And obviously with time we'll drop the sanctuary fences, and those wildlife numbers will start repopulating the rest of the park. In Limpopo National Park, it's the first time we've done a census since the whole north of the park has been fully protected part and fully conserved, because they're without the presence of communities in that landscape. Very encouraging to see the results there, and a far wider distribution of wildlife across that number, and again a good increase in numbers. The results are very encouraging of all 4 parks. Gives us confidence that we know what species are there, and that can guide us also for relocation and repopulation of other parks.